June 15, 1215, Magna Carta. Magna Carta Libertatum, commonly called Magna Carta, is a royal charter of rights agreed to by King John of England at Runnymede, near Windsor, on June 15, 1215. First drafted by Archbishop of Canterbury, Cardinal Stephen Langton, to make peace between the unpopular king and a group of rebel barons, it promised the protection of church rights, protection for the barons from illegal imprisonment, access to swift justice, and limitations on feudal payments to the crown, to be implemented through a council of 25 barons. Neither side stood behind their commitment, and the charter was annulled by Pope Innocent III, leading to the First Baron War. June 15, 1648. Margaret Jones, Puritan midwife, executed. Margaret Jones was the first person to be executed for witchcraft in Massachusetts Bay Colony during a witch hunt that lasted from 1648 to 1693. About 80 people throughout New England were accused of practicing witchcraft during that period. 13 women and 2 men were executed. Jones, who resided in Charlestown, now a section of Boston, was a midwife and practiced medicine. Some of what caused her to be accused of witchcraft had to do with these practices. There are only 2 primary sources of information on Jones's plight: Governor John Winthrop's journal and the observations of Minister John Hale, who, as a 12-year-old boy, had witnessed Jones's execution. June 15, 1896 Sanriku earthquake. The 1896 Sanriku earthquake was one of the most destructive seismic events in Japanese history. The 8.5 magnitude earthquake occurred in 1932 on June 15, 1896, approximately 166 kilometers off the coast of Iwate Prefecture, Honshu. It resulted in 2 tsunamis which destroyed about 9,000 homes and caused at least 22,000 deaths. The waves reached a then record height of 38.2 meters. This would remain the highest on record until waves from the 2011 Tohoku earthquake exceeded that height by more than 2 meters. Seismologists have discovered the tsunami's magnitude, Mount equals 8.2, was much greater than expected for the estimated seismic magnitude. This earthquake is now regarded as being part of a distinct class of seismic events, the tsunami earthquake. June 15, 1921. Bessie Coleman earns her pilot's license, first female pilot, African American descent. Bessie Coleman was an early American civil aviator. She was the first African American woman and first Native American to hold a pilot license. She earned her license from the Fédération Aéronautique Internationale on June 15, 1921, and was the first Black person to earn an international pilot's license. June 15, 1991. Eruption of Mount Pinatubo. The 1991 eruption of Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines' Luzon volcanic arc was the second largest volcanic eruption of the 20th century, behind only the 1912 eruption of Novarupta in Alaska. On June 12, the volcano's first spectacular eruption sent an ash column 19 kilometers into the atmosphere. Additional explosions occurred overnight and the morning of June 13. Seismic activity during this period became intense. When even more highly gas-charged magma reached Pinatubo's surface on June 15, the volcano exploded, sending an ash cloud 40 kilometers, 25 miles, into the atmosphere. Nearly every bridge within 30 kilometers, 19 miles, of Mount Pinatubo was destroyed. Several lowland towns were flooded or partially buried in mud. More than 840 people were killed from the collapse of roofs under wet heavy ash, and several more were injured. 15th of June Global Wind Day. Global Wind Day or World Wind Day is a worldwide event that is held on June 15 around the world. It is organized by Wind Europe and GWEC, Global Wind Energy Council. It is a day when wind energy is celebrated, information is exchanged, and adults and children find out about wind energy, its power, and the possibilities it holds to change the world.